Okay, back at it. Another best ball draft. Tomorrow is the real NFL draft, and these ADPs are going to shift. They're going to correct. And today is a really nice window to take advantage of some opportunities to get some unique lineups that are going to go the long way, all the way to week 17. And, you know, this is kind of like Christmas savings for me. You invest all your money in all these drafts, and then week 16, week 17, hopefully you get a nice Christmas bonus. Like a real nice. We got the second pick, which is nice because the last video I did with you guys was the 11th pick. So we'll have a slightly different strategy here compared to the other one. That's nice. I was a little bit worried that I was going to end up with a similar draft position and really have to go out of my way to make it different than the last one. But this is gonna be easy. It's gonna naturally happen like that. The guy with the first pick is on auto draft. I don't know if he's really on auto draft. He might be one of these guys who's just acting like they're on auto draft, queuing up a couple players before their pick every time, so I think that he's on auto draft. So I don't go out of my way to snipe the players that I think he wants. I don't do that kind of stuff anyway. Most of the time, I'm more worried about my team than trying to make sure you don't get who you want on your team. For me, it's more important to make my lineup optimal rather than to make sure that yours isn't. Um, you know. So with the number two pick, I'm gonna hope that Gibbs falls to me here at two. A lot of people like to go Bijan with the first overall pick, and there's nothing wrong with that. He was on the $2 million winning team last year, so he's definitely a valuable running back. If Gibbs gets taken, I'll probably take Bijan. Let's see who his auto pick is gonna do. Oh, he took Bijan. I'm gonna scoop up Gibbs. This is an easy call. All right. Now we look here. Our next pick's going to be 23. Is there any chance that Malik Neighbors could fall to me at 23? I mean, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds like there's no possible way that can happen. But I'll tell you what, I've been drafting since March. I've done a lot of drafts, and I've gotten Neighbors at the end of the second round numerous times. I feel like I just won the lottery every time it happens. Um, because in my opinion, he's a no doubt first round pick. But if everyone else wants to let his ADP slide down to the second, um, that's fine. I will grab up some other really great value and hope that I can get Neighbors in the second round where possible, especially when I'm picking early in the first round. So therefore, I'll be picking late in the second round. That's just extreme value. But there's other options that we could consider with 23 and 26. We'll see who falls to us. There could be a lot of surprises. Right now around NFL draft time, we have a lot of casuals, a lot of first time drafters for the year, a lot of first time drafters for best ball. Period. Guys have never played basketball before. A lot of people are joining into these tournaments. There's a slightly lower percentage of what I like to call the sharps. The sharps are the guys who are paying attention all year long. They're reading all the blogs, they're reading all the injury reports, all the journalist stories from each team. They're really going out of their way to be in the loop. I consider myself part of that group. And even more so right now, just before the drafts, I feel like I've got quite the edge over the field when it comes to rookie knowledge because of this channel. I've been scouting like crazy. You know what? I've been scouting the NFL draft right with Mel Kiper for a long time since it was only on ESPN. And most years I've done a better job with my mock draft than Mel Kiper for specific teams or interest picks where I really took a stand. I said, "Oh, I think this team's going to take this guy or whatever." I believe. I mean, it might be a little bit biased, but I believe that I have outperformed Kiper just about every year since I was a teenager. And not sure how young I look, but there's some grays in the beard. We'll just put it like that. I'm a gray beard. All right. This isn't my first rodeo. This isn't my first NFL season. And you know what? I'm not even sure when best ball started. I think I started playing in the first year, and this is going to be my sixth year playing best ball. But I'm not sure. Maybe best ball was going on for a year or two before I was even aware of it. Um, I know that in the last 5 years, it has really blown up, and I have gotten more and more into it. I mean, by this point, best ball is by far my favorite fantasy game, period. I hardly ever play redraft leagues at all. I do mess around with some other formats, and I definitely play DFS. Um, but you know what? I kind of use best ball to not play DFS so much, if that makes sense. I mean, if I didn't have hundreds of best ball lineups, then every single week I would be spending, whatever, $500 on DFS buy-ins, and and sometimes winning my money back and some. A lot of times, just almost making my money back or losing a bunch of money. But when I do have hundreds of best ball drafts, it's a little bit easier to stay involved, to still feel like I've got a little extra weight, a little extra skin in the game by just following my best ball teams and stuff instead of dropping crazy buy-ins on DFS. I mean, of course, I'm still going to play DFS just about every week for the football season like I always do. But, I'm more than happy with a few DFS entries into some situations where I feel like I have an advantage. Maybe a 3-entry max tournament or a single entry tournament. I like those ones that are real top heavy where chances are I might lose my money or just make it back. But if I happen to finish at the top, of those standing, it's going to be a game changer. I bought in for 20, but I'm going to win 10 grand or whatever. Those are the situations I like to put myself in. And then if you lose a bunch of times, that's fine as long as you come through with some wins every once in a while. And and I know that might be easier said than done for some people. Uh, I don't go too long between big hits usually. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but every football season, I normally have, at least one real nice hit where I'm 100x, 500x in my money, whatever. All right, we're coming up to 23. Neighbors is still on the board. Look at this. This is insane. How did these guys take Genty over Neighbors? I mean, even Jefferson. Who's throwing Jefferson the ball in Minnesota that makes him worth taking over Neighbors? Nobody. No, I mean, who who are the best two LSU wide receivers in the NFL? Last I checked, it was Chase and Neighbors. I know people like to say Jefferson, but if you're saying Jefferson, you're stuck. You're stuck in a time warp. You're stuck in a time machine from a couple of years ago because he is no longer one of the top two LSU wide receivers in the NFL. He's really talented. If he had a better quarterback, I would love him. But he doesn't, and I don't. And Neighbors is still there. Did I really predict this fall? Did I predict this fall to the back of the second round for Malik Neighbors? Do it. Yes. That's what I'm fucking talking about. All right. Is there even a tough decision here at all? There's not. Taking them. Boom. Oh, I'm feeling real good about this start. All right. So now we got Neighbors, we got Gibbs. How can you complain when you got two top 5 value picks in the first 2 rounds? You know what? Pickens is also going to do really good things. Again, I mean, he had a killer year last year. And I'm hoping that the schedule makers will do a Cowboys-Giants matchup in those last couple weeks there. They like to mix it up with those division games sometimes. So maybe I could get the playoff stack, the best ball playoff stack for 15, 16, or 17 before that schedule is even out, which would be a huge advantage. Not to mention just having Neighbors and Pickens on your team. I'm feeling real good about that. I might as well just name this team Spike Week because I'm going to be having Spike Weeks between these first 3 picks. Jeez. Every week I better have a Spike Week from one of these guys. Has anyone... Whoa. Easy, Gene. Took Josh Allen with the 7th. This is what I'm talking about, Right around the NFL draft, we have these casuals jumping in. This guy could have waited. He maybe could have got him in the 3rd round here. He definitely... there's no chance anyone would have taken him before he took McBride here at the 2-6. The 7th overall... this guy... I haven't seen every winning best ball lineup ever, but I highly doubt anyone has ever won a best ball tournament when they took a quarterback in the 1st round. It just doesn't happen. And then especially, he also took an elite tight end in the 2nd round. So this guy has no running backs, no wide receivers. The rest of us all have at least a couple of guys with spike week potential. I mean, now Josh Allen, of course, he probably has the most spike week potential. This guy puts up 50 burgers, but he doesn't do it every week. And just the value, you could have got him rounds later. You still could have had him. I wouldn't have taken him. Even if he was still here, I wouldn't have taken him over Neighbors. I wouldn't have taken him over Pickens. I mean, one of these next couple guys probably would have taken him. I don't think he could have got him in the third round. He definitely could have got him in the second round. And you know what? When you're drafting best ball, this isn't about one team. You don't have to have your guy on your team every time, because if you want to win, you're going to have to do a bunch of drafts, and they have to be different. If you're going to draft 50 drafts and they're all almost the same, they all have your 6 favorite players on them. I mean, you better hope your predictions are real good and all 6 of those guys hit. And, chances are all 6 of your teams are going to lose. Or, all 50 of your teams are going to lose, with your 6 guys on it. Can't do that. You really got to mix it up. Now, you could take strong stances and have higher percentage exposures to certain guys, for sure. So far, it seems like I have a lot of Gibbs. I got a lot of Taylor, a lot of Jonathan Taylor in the first round. I think that Jonathan Taylor is much more valuable than his current ADP. So a lot of times, if I'm drafting out of the 3, 4, or 5 spot, and he's still there when it's my pick, it's real hard for me to resist taking Jonathan Taylor in the first round. And there was a couple where I took him high. I took him in second or third overall, and then Malik Neighbors fell to me in those as well. Now, people are a little bit worried about Malik Neighbors maybe being banged up to start the season. That's fine. He might be. I don't think it's going to matter so much. I really don't. I mean, I'm going to have plenty of other nice wide receivers that best ball can automatically slide right into my starting lineup every week, including when Neighbors is on bye week, including those first 2 weeks. If by chance he isn't 100%, I do think he's going to be healthy by the season, but who knows? He is banged up. They are saying that Cam Scadaboo's ahead of him in recovery time. And Cam Scadaboo, he basically got his foot ripped off. I don't know how he could be ahead of him, but they're saying that. I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to it. Maybe they know that Neighbors is not recovering so well. You know what? At the end of the second round, you cannot go wrong with Neighbors. He is, assuming he doesn't get hurt at the beginning of the season again like he did last year, he's just, without a doubt, going to have numerous spike weeks. And, they're going to feature him quite a bit. I think that the Giants are going to be rolling in a lot of 1 wide receiver sets with 2 tight ends, a couple running backs, fullbacks sometimes. They're going to be out there in heavy sets, not too many 2 and 3 wide receiver sets. Neighbors is going to get a lot of catches. He could even contend for the reception leader for the NFL. He has that 120 catch potential in him. 47's coming up. Before we know it, it'll be here. Who are we looking at? Love Luther Burden. I just took him in my last mock best ball draft. Here at the real NFL draft season, of course, I've been involved in some mock drafts as well. Slipping up. I know what I'm talking about, though. This is not a mock draft, all right? Okay. So let's see. We only have 1 running back. Let's check and see who might be here. Judkins is a real good player, and people don't like to take him because he's on the Browns, and the Browns have been really bad for like ever. But you know what? He's one of their legit weapons, and they're going to lean on him, and I think he's going to have a good season. We could go Cam Scadaboo. Could go Luther Burden. Warren's not going to make it back to me if I wanted to take Warren, but I think I'm going to skip him for this draft. We should probably look here. Now, how's Monty going to play out in Houston? Man, that's a wild card right there. He could have a really good season, or he could just be a total bust this year. I'm going Judkins. I'm not scared of the Browns. Just take it. Take it to Browntown. All right. Okay. Round 5. I'm not gonna. I really like Caleb Williams this year. He he projects to be, at least in my opinion, one of the top best ball quarterbacks this year. With this next pick, all right. Oh, hurry up, hurry up. Oh, I got him. Cam Scatterbo. So we got Cam Scatterbo and Malik Neighbors. Now, everyone knows Cam Scatterbo is a real tough, physical, pounding running back who does not care that he is smaller than defenders. He's going to run them over anyways. And that's why I love him. That's why everybody loves him. But I'm telling you guys right now, he's pretty good at running routes too. And he can catch the ball. I mean, this guy is good enough to line up from any position out of the backfield, line up as tight end, even in the slot as a wide receiver. Um, they could use Cam Scatterbo in some real creative ways this year. I mean, obviously he's going to get the goal line touches. He's going to get the third and short touches. And you know what? Not just third and short. I think they're going to leave him in for most third down plays, regardless if it's third and short or not, because of those really nice hands and that nice route running potential. Or not potential. I mean, he doesn't potentially have a good route running tree. He can already run routes really, really well. You would be surprised how well this guy is. You know, how well he does catching the ball out in space. He runs a lot of routes. I saw him in college and last year make a couple of real highlight plays. I think one of his best receiving plays may have got called back on a penalty, a holding, or something. So most people don't even see that highlight. And the Giants were dealing with a bunch of injuries, so they had to use what they had. And they were taking advantage of his pound run style ability, and you can't blame him. I mean, you give him the ball, it's so hard to tackle this guy. It's crazy. He used to. I guess I heard stories that he used to run into telephone poles as a kid for fun. That's the kind of guy he is. Uh, we'll see about that, but he is a real fun player to watch. And now that I have these Giants on my team, it looks like I'm going to be targeting Jackson Dart, probably with my 74th pick here. I think he's going 86. That's going to be both of these drafts that I streamed today have Jackson Dart. Just goes to show you that I am not BSing. I really like this guy for best ball this year, and I am probably going to end up with a pretty nice percent exposure to Jackson Dart. I mean, more than some other guys that are household names already. But you got to be ahead. You got to be ahead. You can't just say, "Oh, Josh Allen is really good. He's been the best for a while. I'm just going to take him in the first round," like whatever that guy's name is that did that. Um, yeah, Josh Allen is a really good player, but best ball is about more than that. Okay, you have to maximize your value. You have to maximize your exposures. You have to do some planning, and more than planning, you have to plan to react. You cannot decide who you're going to pick before everyone else picks. All right, you just have to wait and see how it shakes out, and you have to have multiple scenarios planned in your head every time, so that you know if there's a big run on wide receivers here, I might do one thing. If there's a big run on running backs here, I might do another thing. If the quarterbacks start flying off the board, that's going to change things. So right now, we're what 9 picks away, nine picks away from my pick. I can't definitively decide right now what I'm going to do. Now, I'm pretty sure that if Jackson Dart is still available when I'm on the clock, I'm going to take him with my seventh round pick. Um, I do think that even the sixth round is not too high for him. He's worth taking there, but considering this guy here in the one hole just took Lamar Jackson the last round, I highly doubt he's going quarterback back to back rounds this early in the draft. So I'm going to take a chance that he's not going to steal Dart from me, and I'm going to plan to take Dart 74. That could all change. Someone else, I've seen Dart go really high. I've seen Dart go in the third round, fourth round. I mean, that's a little bit ridiculous, but depending on what your plan is, maybe that's the way that you had to do it to build your team out. There are scenarios where taking guys a couple rounds ahead of ADP is the way to go because, let's just say that there are five really, really, really good performers that go in the seventh round. Like, five guys who they just way outperform expectations, and they're all going in the seventh round. If you're drafting strictly by ADP, you're only going to get one of those guys. Now, if you identified them as maybe better than some guys that you could have gotten in the sixth round, and the seventh round comes around, maybe you already reached for one of them in the sixth round. You take another one in the seventh round, and then you get another one of those guys in the eighth round, and now you have three of the five extreme overperformers from the seventh round on your team when almost everyone else only has one of those guys because they're living and dying with the ADP. And sometimes you just need to you gotta have different roadmaps. I mean, there's no one way to win best ball. There's not. Every year I've been playing, there has been a slightly different strategy, a slightly different surprising player, a slightly different something that you need to win. And I know, and I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes I start to feel real good about my projections. I'm working on this stuff all off season long, and then by the time the season starts, I have it in my head. This guy's good, and this guy's not. But we have to remember that nothing is cut and dry like that. It's really not. You know, an injury to a teammate could change everything. You could have a quarterback that you really love, and then all of a sudden his right tackle gets hurt, and that just ruins everything. His number one receiver gets hurt. His running back gets hurt, and now they're a one dimensional team. There's a lot of there's so many variables. You can't just count on a couple of guys. All right, let's see here. 71. And how's my team looking? I've got three running backs, two wide receivers, no tight ends, no quarterbacks. I'm hopefully going to take Jackson Dart, who didn't go before me. Nice. I'm going to take him with my next pick. So let's see. We look over at these wide receivers. I could take Makai Lemons, real nice. I just took him in my last best ball draft. Let's take a shot on Jordan Tyson. I think Jordan Tyson's going to get drafted fourth overall to the Tennessee Titans. I know a lot of people think. Hold on, let me get back to that in 1 second. Just check things out. Fennon had a real nice year last year, overperformed everyone's expectations. Do I want Lemon and Tyson both on this team? I mean, I'm going to try to get Denzel Boston again later. Let's do it. Why not? Oh, I forgot to grab Dart though. Oh, you guys forgot to remind me to grab Dart. Oh, all right. Well, things happen. Oh man, I should have taken Dart. Okay, especially with our neighbors and Scattaboo on this team. But you know what? Sometimes things don't go as planned, and then you end up accidentally drafting one of your best ball teams of the season. It's happened to me multiple times before where I've been super upset that somebody sniped a pick and I had to take someone else or whatever. But then that guy that I ended up taking because my preference got sniped, that guy that I ended up taking ended up being the one that I needed, the one that got me to the playoffs, the one that advanced me to week 16 or week 17 or whatever. It definitely happens. And if you're tracking your drafts, I know that it's not exactly the easiest thing to do. You got to download each one of these draft boards individually from DraftKings if you really, really want to track how your drafts went. Because once you can see it until the season starts, but then once the best ball season officially starts, week 1 in the NFL, it's going to change. You won't be able to see your draft board images anymore unless you downloaded them all, and you'll be able to see your team, and you'll be able to see all the teams that are in that draft with you, but you won't be able to see where you took who, where you got the good value. And if you really want to go back and do like some draft autopsies and really, really look these drafts over with a fine tooth comb, like I like to do, you just have to download all those images and because there's really there. I mean, there's probably some stuff that you can get I'm sure you could import it into some kind of software that would organize it for you nicely. I just download all the images. I download all the images and I number them, and then I go back and then I could look them over at any time, whenever I want. All right. TV just got loud in the background. Hopefully, you guys couldn't hear that. I thought I had the volume all the way down, but I guess it was only on four. It was just really quiet before, and then something louder happened. Okay. Coming around. Let's see. Who else? What's going on here? Let's check out the situation. Tucker Kraft in the seventh round. That's a nice pick. I would have taken Kraft before Fannin. Although Fannin flashed, he really did flash some real nice weeks last year. I'm a little bit concerned with his situation, and he was inconsistent too. You know, he had some really big weeks, especially early in the season, and then he kind of started to fade. He has the potential to really take a step up, though. See what happens. See what happens with the Browns in general. I mean, I know they have a pretty decent defense. Things have been kind of looking up for them for a couple of years, but you know what? I think they're better than the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins, sorry if you're a Dolphins fan, in my opinion, the Dolphins might be in store for the worst season. And I don't know what their future draft pick situation is like, but they might be looking at that number one overall pick in the 2027 draft. And we'll see if Arch Manning likes the idea of playing in Miami or not. I mean, it's a nice place, party town, sexy girls all over the place. But, you know, how much success are you going to see in the NFL if you're playing in Miami for the next 4 or 5 years? I am not so sure. There goes Jackson Dart. I knew he wasn't going to make it back to me at pick 95. That was a mistake. I was thinking about it, multiple things at once, and I let him go. You heard me. I was planning on taking him, but I didn't. So let's look and see who else we could. Could take Mahomes and hope that Jordan Tyson or Makai Lemon, who I took, both of them guys already. Hope one of them goes to the Chiefs at number 9. Oh yeah, like I started to say earlier, and then I don't think I ever finished my thought. Oops. Did Mahomes just go? Mahomes just went. People are scared of Stafford right now. They're not sure if he's going to play next year. The word is that they are working out a contract. I don't think there's going to be any problem with Stafford. We'll just take him. We're going to have to grab a couple more quarterbacks, too, in this draft. All right. And now Michael Pittman in Pittsburgh. He was a nice wide receiver in Indianapolis. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come back and play for Pittsburgh again next year. He might like throwing a Pittman. But let's take Kittle. Let's take Kittle. Hope he can stay healthy. We need to start working on our tight ends. I have a couple other late tight ends that I like, but I don't want to fall too behind there, especially since I don't have an optimal quarterback for this lineup, meaning that I don't have any other Rams weapons yet that I am stacking with Stafford. We'll see what we have available, if there's anyone we want to target later. Let's see here. Not so much. There is not so many weapons I love here. Got Ferguson. Had a couple of decent weeks. Higby had a couple of more decent weeks. I don't know. I think I'm going naked Stafford here. And yeah, I think I'm going naked Stafford. We'll grab another quarterback or two. I think that I'm going to need three quarterbacks in this lineup. I do actually prefer three quarterbacks. For a couple of years playing best ball, I was trying to get away with drafting mostly two quarterback teams. And I was even taking shots on one quarterback teams. But I've noticed over the years that I've had more success both getting to the playoffs and then in the best ball playoffs as well on teams where I have three quarterbacks. Actually, I made it to week 16 with a four quarterback team, but the majority of my successful playoff teams so far, at least it seems that way. And I go and dissect. Like I said, I download all those images. I really look things over to see where I won, where I lost, where I went wrong, what I did right, all those things. All right. Pick 119. We're getting to the area where there's going to be some good value on some rookies that the field just doesn't know about. And that's what I'm talking about. That's the whole reason we're drafting extra today. I love to do best ball drafts at all times. I've been doing them since March, and I'll be continuing to do them until August, September. Ooh. But right now, as all these casuals are jumping in because of the NFL draft, you can get some great value. And it's not a guarantee, but you got to take shots. You got to take shots at all the different times during the draft period because there's going to be different value on on just about every player between now and the regular season. All these ADP values are going to shift, and maybe you draft your best lineup super early in March. Maybe you draft your best lineup when more information becomes available in August. But you just want those different builds, and the only way to do it is by. So, do I want to grab Casey Concepcion or do I want to grab? Oh, you know what, Tyler Shaw. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. It's tough, but he looks really good. He is someone who's being undervalued by everyone. I don't know if I want. I don't want two naked quarterbacks. I'm just going to go Kenny Gainwell right now. I'm going to hope that Concepcion slides to me. He did. Let's take him. Okay. So we're a little bit thin at tight end and quarterback. I've got naked Stafford and I've got Kittle. Purdy already got taken, so I'm not stacking with Kittle. Hopefully, maybe Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon will go to the Rams, and then I will have a Ram stack, and Stafford won't be naked anymore. He can put some clothes on. But, ooh, all right. Dak is gone, I'm sure. And got these rookies. We got three of the best rookies, projection wise. And there goes Denzel Boston. Oh, 127. Denzel Boston comes off the board. Looks like Easy Gene number two is not really on auto draft. He's playing with us a little bit, and he is a little bit sharper than I originally thought. But he still took Allen and McBride in the first two rounds. I mean, even though he's got a couple of really nice later picks, Dart, Boston, he's just not gonna make. He's not even gonna make the playoffs. Sorry to tell you, Easy Gene, it's just not gonna work out for you. But you know what? I'm not loving my team so far either. But that's fine. That's fine. And sometimes, like I was saying, sometimes these drafts where your guys get sniped or it doesn't go exactly how you want, they end up being the best drafts Because even though you're trying to make variation, you can't help it. The guys that you really like the most, you end up having high exposure to them, and chances are, if you switch them out in a few lineups with some lesser drafted players, that can really help you maximize. I mean, 240 guys are getting drafted in every draft, and no one really knows what they're going to do. Even these guys up top, we think we have a pretty good idea what kind of season they're going to have, but we can't predict injuries, and injuries affect best ball, big time. You have an injury to a guy who was getting drafted in the first couple rounds, and now all of a sudden you got the backup, the second string player who may or may not have got drafted, and he's just stepping right in, being a stud. He's got low ownership numbers throughout best ball, and that's the guy that you end up needing. So you just have to take your shots. But I'm a little bit upset that Denzel Boston went 127, especially since Easy Gene already messed up his team. So this guy with the messed up team is sniping my pick that I really wanted. And you know what? I can usually get Denzel Boston around pick 150. That's one of the big advantages I was hoping to capitalize on today. I expect him to start going way, 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 way higher. So, but you know what? Now that we didn't get Denzel Boston, maybe we'll see how late we can get Malachi Fields, the other big body wide receiver that I really like in this NFL draft. He went to Notre Dame. Not many people are talking about him yet because this wide receiver class is so deep. He's probably not even in the top 10 projected wide receivers by most analysts. But I'm telling you, this guy's going to get drafted in the third round, maybe the fourth round latest, and a team is going to use him. He's got real nice body control. He's big. He's strong. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but he's not slow either. He's got some run after the catch ability. If they didn't have Love and Price over there at Notre Dame that they were leaning on a lot, and they had to rely more on Fields, I mean, I think we'd be talking about him way higher in the NFL draft and also in these best ball drafts. All right, we're coming up on pick 143. Let's see what's going on here. All right, we got Isaiah Likely. Oh, I didn't get Dart though. So even though I was planning on targeting him, we might have to take Daniel Jones. What other quarterbacks we have? We could take a shot on Bryce Young, Cam Ward. Maybe I'll grab Ward too later if he makes it back to me in the 15th round. He probably won't, but one okay to semi all right down season from a rookie, and people want to call him a bust already. I mean, the guy needs to get some experience under his belt. They need to surround him with some quality players. I don't think it's over for Cam Ward yet. There's a chance that he could still turn into a really good quarterback in this league. He looked really nice at Miami. All right. So, okay. Omar Cooper Jr. is also a nice steal. I don't love him quite as much as some of the other prospects. Um, we'll see if there's any tight end value right now. Strange is a real nice tight end. Let's grab Strange. I have very low exposure to Strange, and I do like him as a player. I think there's a chance that he could take a step up and be a little bit of a larger percentage of Jacksonville's offense this year. I don't need him to be great, but I need him to be good enough. So, the last draft that I streamed earlier, by this time in the draft, I was ready to proclaim myself the winner of the draft. I don't know if I could be so confident this time. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, I can win the end of the draft, which is very important. A lot of these guys will just disappear, stop even making their picks. They'll just let auto pick take care of it for the end because they don't recognize the names anymore. That's another advantage that we need to take advantage. That we need to, we need to seize the opportunity. Anytime we know more information than the field, we need to take that into consideration and make sure we're using it to win these tournaments. 167 is going to be my next pick. Down here, 7 picks left. We don't have any correlation with our quarterbacks, which I do not love that. You have to get so lucky to win best ball without correlating your lineups, without stacking, double stacking, trying to trying to get bringbacks for the playoff weeks, 15, 16, and 17. Soon as that schedule is released, uh, me and Chris will go over that. We'll break down all the very best 15, 16 weeks, 15, 16, and 17 matchups that you need to be targeting for your best ball drafts. You can you can listen to us, you can fade us, whatever you want. But I will tell you, me and Chris have both been doing pretty well at best ball for quite a few years now. It's probably not the worst thing for you guys to get a little peek inside of our mind. And we just kind of started this channel, and I know I'm trying to pretend like I've been doing this forever. I've been drafting best ball since the beginning of best ball, and I do it a lot. I go crazy with it. A lot of my regular friends don't play best ball. I've made some online best ball friends, and some people that I like to follow on YouTube. Oh crap! But we're gonna get, basically what I'm saying is we're a little bit rough right now, but we're gonna get this polished. We're gonna get the flow down. We're gonna get the pace, the pacing. Sometimes even right now between these picks, it's like I'm trying to. Sometimes interesting stuff is happening on that I can commentate on, but as I do this more, I will get more comfortable. I'll sound better, but hopefully you can tell already that it's not about the way that I produce these videos. It's not about the way that I sound, the way my voice sounds. It's about the way that I think. I'm just a different thinker. As you see, my DraftKings name is the Fantasy Engineer. I made that a long time ago when DraftKings first became legal in my state. I was in engineering school. I'm a process engineer in nanotechnology. So, you can't exactly be a total dumbass to do that. I think about things in a little bit of a different way. And I have been nerding out on the NFL and the NFL draft for a really long time. So you're just going to hear things from me that you're probably not going to hear from many other people. And you know what else? I'm not this guy who's just repeating what everyone else says. If I disagree with everyone else, I don't care if every analyst is saying it. I'll tell you that I disagree. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Very balanced. We could use a running back. Is there any running backs in this area that we love? Oh, Emmett Johnson. Emmett Johnson is dynamic. He's got speed and nice hands. Yeah, I'm grabbing Emmett Johnson. This guy. I'm not saying they're going to have the same career. I'm not saying he projects like this. But when I watch the tape of Emmett Johnson, I cannot help but be reminded of LaDainian Tomlinson. Just the way he runs. Something, it might be his shiftiness. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's ooh. But I can't help but remember, ever since I watched his highlights, I thought it, and I keep rethinking it. Again, I don't think he's going to be quite that good of a player in the NFL, but anytime you're going to remind me of a top tier player like that from the past, that says really good things. Let's grab Pacheco. Right. Where did my boy Jonah Coleman go? Who took Jonah Coleman? Oh man, I hope he's not still on the board. I should have just taken him right there if he is. I don't. Jonah Coleman's not still on the board, is he? No. Okay, so who took him? Where's Jonah Coleman? Should be in green here somewhere. Should be down here. Oh, here he is, over here. Oh man, this guy. I don't love Jefferson as his first pick, or Loveland as his third pick. Some of this guy's late round picks are looking nice though. Okay. Change this to all. We'll just look through for the top guy that I like to target. And once we get down, I don't mean to keep saying the same stuff, but it is super important. Once you get down here to the last 3 or 4 rounds, maybe even 5 rounds, ADP does not matter at all. Do not draft based on ADP in these last couple rounds. I mean, if you do that, you're going to take a lot of landmines. You can get away with taking top guys at ADP in the beginning part of the draft. Once we get down here towards the bottom, I'm telling you, ADP does not matter one iota. It doesn't matter. If you feel confident that you can get someone later, by all means, wait and get them later. But, if I'm going to take someone in the 17th round who normally goes in the 19th round, there is absolutely no problem with that. Not even a little bit. It's not considered a reach, at least not in my book, not at all. Now, the thing is here, in the last couple rounds, there's going to be numerous hits. And to hit in the last couple rounds, you don't have to do much. You have to contribute to this best ball team for at least 1 week. You need to get in my starting lineup for at least 1 week. If I took you with one of the last couple picks, that's all I'm expecting of you. And if you're going to have some spike weeks, that's going to be a bonus on top of all that. So, down here at those last couple rounds, if you can sneak a couple of those guys into your lineup, you should probably try to do it. And, the people going at ADP right here in round 16, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek at the top of ADP right now. We got Geno Smith. We got Dontavian Wicks, who, maybe in Philly, he might be, especially they're about to lose Brown probably to the Patriots. That probably means real good things for what's his name there? Their skinny wide receiver, the other guy they got. I can't remember. But there goes Wicks anyways. But it might be good for Wicks too. Wicks might have his best year this year with Philadelphia. It's very possible. Okay. Daniel Jones is my second quarterback. It would be real nice if I could get some kind of Indianapolis weapons, maybe. Let's see what we got here left in Indianapolis. Do not really want any of these guys. Giddens was actually on the $2 million winning best ball team last year. Did not contribute very much, obviously. But that just goes to show you every pick does not have to be perfect. And we're not taking any Colts. No one good left. Let's just go down here and take a little shot on Brazel. Let's do it. He's tall. He's skinny. I think he needs to put on weight. I don't project him for the greatest rookie year out of all these prospects coming out, but who knows? Maybe he surprises, and if he does, I don't want to be kicking myself because I had low exposure to him. I need a little bit more exposure to him. And, and I don't want to call this draft a lost cause because, like I said, you never really know what's going to happen, but it hasn't exactly been optimal, in my opinion, so far. Let's take Braylon Allen. Nice little running back from the Jets. He was, at one time a couple of years ago, I think he was the youngest player in the NFL. So to me, that means maybe his body's developing a little bit, and now after a couple of years, he's going to be a little bit stronger, and he could really step up and, he could be a really good player, Comes out of nowhere. You're getting him here at the end of the draft in almost every draft. Why not? Take a little shot on him. So we got, well, you know what? We got 7 running backs, and one of them is Gibbs. So I think we're cashed out on running backs. I'm definitely not spending one of my last 3 picks on running backs. Uh, like I said, I did have the most success in my best ball history with 3 quarterback teams. And you don't hear, out of all the content I've watched over the last few years, you never hear anyone saying, whether you should take 2 quarterbacks. You'll hear a lot of people saying don't take 4 quarterbacks teams, and I agree with that. That's a little much. But I think that the original instinct seems to be, if I could get 1 or 2 quarterbacks that are going to hit most weeks, then I could just have an extra spot or two for an extra skill position player, someone who's really going to contribute. And I get the thought process, I really do. But I'm telling you, after 5 years of playing best ball like a maniac, tons and tons of drafts every year, it just seems like my 3 quarterback teams are the most successful, regardless if one of them is an elite quarterback or not. Because of course, if I have an elite quarterback, I might be a little bit less likely to take 3 quarterbacks. I might stick to 2 quarterbacks. But even those teams, I've noticed over the last few years, even if you have a Josh Allen, even if you have a Lamar Jackson, my teams that have had 3 quarterbacks have advanced way more often. It's not even close. All right, we're coming down the home stretch. These last 3 picks are super important. If you're cutting out of your draft, 15th, 16th round, because you don't know any players, just figure it out. Learn who some of these guys are. Um, it really doesn't take that long to become familiar with almost everyone who's going to be drafted in best ball drafts. It can't be done in a day, but that's why I make these videos for you. I give you a little commentary on this guy and that guy, and my commentary is not based on recycling the commentary of others. Okay. I actually watched film. I actually watched games. I actually went through with a fine tooth comb and looked at the majority of these players. Now, some of these guys who are already NFL veterans, I'm just familiar with them from seeing them playing in games. Maybe I wasn't totally focused on them, but I've got a pretty solid opinion of just about everyone in all these drafts. And especially when it comes to the rookies, I feel like I'm way ahead of the field right now. People are going to start catching up, but it's going to take them a couple weeks. And excuse me. And during that time, I want to take advantage of this window where I could just get the best value, the most edge over ADP as I can. And there's multiple windows like this. And anytime I see any opportunity, I'm trying to pounce on it. All right. 215, 218, and 239 going to be our last picks. Last 2 or 3 picks are coming up. Let's just see. And again, it doesn't matter. I don't have to stick up here to the top of this list. ADP matters none at this point. Let's see. There's someone I like. Let's just get a couple guys that I like in the queue, and then we'll decide between them when it is time. You know what? Even chances are I'm not taking a 3rd quarterback, even though I've been preaching the whole time how you need to take 3 quarterbacks. I just, yeah, none of these guys are worth taking, in my opinion. Missed out on that pick earlier. Kind of screwed me a little bit, but that's all right. We're done on running backs. We already said that. So let's check out some wide receivers and some tight ends. Hollywood Brown, no thanks. I like Ollie Gordon, but I'm already full on running backs. I like Keon Coleman. But Jeremy Bernard is one of these guys that the field's just not paying much attention to. And watch what happens by week 2, week 3 in the NFL season. See if you're paying attention to him by then. Okay. All right. Let's grab Could grab Fryermuth. Probably not going to get any studs down here. We just need someone to fill in for a bye week. Or do I go Musgrave? Do I go Ingram? Let's go Fryermuth. And then hopefully one of these two wide receivers will fall to me in my last pick, either Zach Branch or Keon Coleman. I like both of them. Let's see if I go here and take a quick peek at my notes. Zach Branch, the screen machine, ran a 4.35. Elite change of direction ability. He's dangerous in space. He made a lot of SEC defenders look foolish. I think whoever drafts Branch is going to love him. They're going to use him. They're going to utilize him. They're going to throw him a lot of screens. And he's my guy that I'm going to target here in the 20th round. I'll feel really great about that. If he's not, hopefully I can still get Keon Coleman. I feel like I should probably come up with a number 3 option just so we're not surprised when we're on the clock. If both of those guys get taken, let's just go to wide receivers because I want my last pick to be a wide receiver in this situation. I've already got 3 tight ends. I got 7 running backs. And if I'm going to have a position group where I'm stacking up a couple more guys, I do like it to be wide receivers most of the time. All right. And how's it going down here? These guys are still working on completing the round. I could probably go pee and come back by the time it's my pick, but I won't do that to you guys. I know that my background is super interesting, but hopefully at least some of you have stuck around to see how it's gonna shake out here at the end of this draft. And if you have, keep checking back. I'm gonna post a bunch more of these. We are going to kill best ball together. We are taking it down. This year, the jackpot is either going in my pocket or one of the pockets of one of my viewers. We are winning that $2 million this year, speaking it into existence. And if it's not going to be me, I want it to be one of you guys. Seriously. But hopefully it's me. All right. No. Oh, there goes Zach Branch. Man. Well, hopefully Keon Coleman makes it to me. Now I really need the backup option. Just in case Coleman goes. Who can we take here? Could go Ted Hurst. I do like Ted Hurst. He's another exciting rookie, big body fella. But I heard a GM talking about him, and he thought that Ted Hurst is going to be a real good player in the league, but he's probably a year away. And I really like listening to these GMs sometimes, especially this particular GM is a retired GM, so he's not throwing out smoke screens. He's giving his actual opinion. But he's also not retired for very long. He was just a GM a few years ago. And there goes Keon Coleman. Jeez. All right. Who's this last pick going to be? Is it going to be Ted Hurst? Are we really going to take a shot on Ted Hurst? Could be Cedric Tillman. We could take Darius Slayton. Could take Zacchaeus. Could take Chris Bell, another exciting rookie. Tez Johnson in Tampa Bay is going to step up this year. He looked real nice as a rookie last year. I was getting him in the 20th round last year. I cannot believe that I can still get him this year in the 20th round. Some of you guys must not have been paying attention to those really nice catches he made. And the fact that Big Mike is no longer on the team. All right, let's do it. Let's take our last pick. And instead of one of these unknown rookies, we've already got a handful of rookies on the team. I'm taking Tez Johnson. I feel really good about Tez Johnson as my 20th round pick. And there we go. We'll stay. We'll take a quick peek at this draft board. We'll look at the team. Oh, we're over here in the second slot this time. We got Gibbs. We got Neighbors. We got Pickens. We got Judkins. We got Scattaboo. We got Jordan Tyson. We got Mekhi Lemon. We got Naked Stafford. We got Kittle. We got Gainwell. We got Concepcion. We got the underrated Daniel Jones. We got Brenton Strange. Emmett Johnson, Pacheco, Brazel, that skinny bean pole of a tall skyscraper wide receiver that hopefully is going to win me some money in best ball. But you know what? I have been avoiding him, so if he does hit, I hope I've got him in a lineup. He's not one of my favorite rookies. I actually like Jeremy Bernard a lot more than him. I just knew I could get him later. So that about wraps up today's second best ball draft of the day. Hope you guys are ready for the NFL draft tomorrow, and be ready because plenty more of these videos are coming at you soon.